Good morning, guys. How are you? Okay, today we're gonna do everything related to transformations, which is lesson 15.4, right? It's pretty easy, and I believe once you did homework, you read the lesson, and you worked on the exercises, you actually could have understood everything related to the topic. Just keep in mind, transformation is always a geometric change in the position of a figure. So it's geometry, but it's all about how do I change a figure, all right? Then we know we have three types of transformations, which are translations, reflections, and rotations. Now, translations, we know it's everything related to how do I move a figure vertically or horizontally. Now, I know there are some figures, like if you find a figure like this, I don't know, and then you find it probably over here, right? What you see is not only one, it's probably bigger, right? Okay, what you see is probably not only a vertical or horizontal translation, but actually both are happening at the same time. What that means is that I actually had to move the figure vertically first and then horizontally, or horizontally first and then vertically, okay? Now, whether I'm working vertically or horizontally, I need to understand I'm always going to have positive and negative translations. If I'm talking about vertically, a vertical translation, then we need to keep in mind that a positive, I can say a vertical translation of 5 units. Right? That's going to be a positive translation, vertical translation. What that means is that I need to move the figure up 5 units. So here, I'm going to talk about the vertical positive, which tells me to just move upward. Sorry, that figure. Now, when I'm talking about not 5 units, but negative 10 units, here we know we're going up, right? Here we know we're going down. And so if I have a vertical translation of negative 10 units, that means that my figure gotta go down 10 units. Now, what are those 10 units? Well, if I'm not using the regular units, I mean centimeters, kilometers, yards, or whatever it is, then I'm for sure gonna have to have a geoplane, which is a plane with dots, where we can actually count units as the distance between one dot and the other. When it comes to horizontal translations, then again we have positive or negative, right? And then don't forget that if I have a horizontal translation of, 7 units, then what that tells me is that I need to move the figure to the right 7 units from its initial position. And if I'm saying negative 4 units, I need to move the figure to the left, those 4 units, okay, from its initial position. Now, this is for the transformation. So when I see this figure over here and then at the end over here, that pretty much what means is that the instructions should have said something like a vertical translation of, probably 2 units, and then a horizontal translation of probably 6 units or 7 units, okay? That's pretty much what we should keep in mind. Now, think about reflections. Reflections actually are related to the fact that I need to have a line of reference. A line of reference or a line of reflection, it's going to be what allows me to do a flip. Reflections are all about doing flips on the image so I can have that figure on the other side of that line of reflection. So think for instance of a figure like this. So if I have a figure, I don't know, like a little a T, right? Then what I'm going to need, I need a vertical line that is going to allow me to do a flip on the figure. What we call that is actually the mirror effect, because the line actually works as a mirror. And what I want to do is that I'm going to look for each one of the points over here, and that each point is going to be at the same distance in regards of the line of refraction. So right here, if I have this distance from this point to the line of reflection, then that point on the other side gotta have the same distance. Same thing happens over here, right? And then over here, and then over here, and then over here, probably. Let me see. And then over here. So what I want to try to do is another T on the other side of my line of reflection. Okay, so keep that in mind. The points in each gotta be on the same distance. Now don't worry about it. We will do an example with gridded paper, so you actually are gonna be able to see how everything works. I just want to tell you the general ideas of each translation. And then of course we can have vertical lines of reflection, but we can also have horizontal lines of reflection, or we can have diagonal lines of reflection. Now diagonal lines of reflection, don't worry about it in this lesson. We will talk about those in lesson 15.8, so don't worry about it. So this is what the reflection is going to work like. Or I could just do a horizontal line of reflection, and then what's going to happen is that I'm going to have something like this, right? Like this. Right? So that's how it would work. I'm going to make a flip over the horizontal line of reflection, and all the points gotta be at the same distance in regards of the line of refraction and the new image. This is a mirror effect. A mirror effect. The mirror effect is how we call it a lot of times. Okay? Now let's go with the rotation. With the rotation, what we have is that we actually need to move a figure, whatever it is. Think about, I don't know, something like maybe this one over here, right? And then I need to have a point of reference. The point of reference is going to be right here. That is a fixed point, okay? A rotation turns a figure about a fixed point at a certain angle. So think about this one over here. If I want to take this figure and rotate it, right? If I want to rotate it, well, I don't have a protractor here, but how about I want to rotate it 180 degrees or 270 degrees or 90 degrees, right? So what I need to think about is that this point is not going to move, but the other points, all of them are going to move. So if I want to move this figure for 90 degrees, that means that this point over here now is going to move all the way over here, right? Why? Well, because I need to make a 90-degree angle, all right? I need to make a 90-degree angle. So right here, what I'm going to have is a move like this. This way, and then this way, this way, and this way. Okay? So that is what happens when I'm rotating 90 degrees around about the fixed point, which is this corner over here I chose. All right? I will do some examples with geoplane grid paper, so that is probably help you a little bit more. So give me a little bit, I will get the table ready and we can work with that, okay? All right. Okay guys, now we're gonna be working on how to do transformation so that you understand a little bit better how this works, okay? I will be making certain figures on the geoplane so you get to see how this works, okay? Well, you need to guess what I'm going to draw here. So hopefully you're gonna be able to see what this is. Now here what I'm going to do, it's a translation. I'll be working on a translation. And I'll be working on a vertical and a horizontal translation, okay? So what I'm going to do first is a vertical, I'm gonna write it down here, a vertical translation. I'm gonna just write down T, right, of 6 units, okay? So what that means is that I actually need to move this figure. I believe you already saw that's a J. So I'm gonna move that figure 6 units. How do I do that? Well, pretty much every single point, right? Every single point in the figure is going to move 6 units. So in order for me to do that, I'm going to actually move them all. But to do that, I'm actually gonna give them letters so that it makes everything easier. So I'm gonna call this one A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K, okay? So what I'm going to do that now, it's that I actually want to be able to get the movement. I'm gonna start with the H and with the I. I'm gonna move them 6 units. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's right here, right? You know what? I'm gonna actually move them a little bit more, like 8 units. So everything is not so close at the end. So I'm gonna do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the new H is right here. Then the new I is gonna be also right here, right? Now we're gonna call this one H prime. Prime means it's a new version of the same point. It is just at a different position. And then it's gonna be I prime, right? And then I'm gonna have J prime. Oh, I totally forget about this one over here, which should be KL. We can call it L. And so this is gonna be L prime, right? And then I'm gonna have over here G prime, and then F prime, right? And then I'm gonna move K 8 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's right here. K prime is gonna be right here, and then B is gonna be 8 units too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's gonna be right here, B prime. And then of course A gotta be right here, A prime, right? Then I'm gonna have C prime over here, and D prime over here, and E prime over here. Now, once I have gotten all the points, it's pretty simple for me just to draw the new figure again. And so this is what I'm gonna get. This one right here, and this one right here, and this one right here, and this one over here, and this one over here too. And then I'm gonna go ahead and work with the horizontal lines over here. All this to get the new J, right? The blue J now, which is the vertical translation, right? Now, how about I want to do a horizontal translation? If I want to do a horizontal translation, that would definitely mean that I need to move whether to the left or to the right, correct? So in this case, I only have space to move to the right. So I'm just gonna do that. And I'm talking about a horizontal T translation of, and I'm gonna say I wanna move everything. I'm gonna do a move of actually 9 units, okay? And why is it positive? Because I'm going to the right. If I wanted to go to the left, then it would have to be -9, right? So again, I'm gonna start moving the points. I'm gonna begin with A. A gotta move 9 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's right here. That's gonna be A. And then this is prime. This is 2 prime. That means I'm gonna have 2 quotes right there. Okay, because it's the second translation I'm doing. Then I'm gonna have B 2 prime. Then I'm gonna have K 2 prime, moving 9 units as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right here. Right? And then I know C 2 prime is gonna be right here. D 2 prime is gonna be right here. E 2 prime is gonna be right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and work with H. H prime gotta move 9 units as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right here. So H2 prime goes here, and then I2 prime should move over here, and then G2 prime is right here, and then J2 prime is right here, and then L2 prime is right here. So with those points, I can actually go ahead and do the figure now. It's right here. Then I'm going to move this way over here, and then probably this way over here, and then over here as well. One more vertical lines, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the horizontal lines, which are this one, this, these two, and then the last one is right here. So see, that's simple. That's how you move horizontally and vertically. But those both translations were actually positive, correct? How about we work on negative translation? So I'm gonna make a new figure over here. Please look at it. This new figure, it's going to be some sort of an 8. It's just a little bit too square, kind of like pixeled. You would guys say that, right? And so this is what it is gonna look like. It is gonna look like a little bit with the shape of an 8, pixeled 8. Okay, and then again I need points. So if I need points, I am going to use you know what? I'm gonna use different letters. How about P, Q, R, S, and then T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, and then point N. All right? So if I wanted to do I'm going to do a vertical line, a vertical translation, but this time the vertical translation, it's going to be where it's going to have probably 12 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, actually that works pretty well. So yes, let's do 12 units. But you know what? It's going to be negative 12 units. Why? Because I want to go downward, right? So if I want to go downwards, I'm just going to go ahead and move everything 12 units downwards. So I'm going to start with R. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right here. That is going to be R prime because it's at first. It is at first translation. Then S prime is going to be right here. Then let's go with Q. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Q prime and then P prime, right? And then of course we know T is gonna be here. T prime, U prime, V prime, W prime, and then we're gonna do let me see, because I'm a little bit lost right here. So let me see. Oh, right here. I'm sorry, guys. I just got a little bit confused. Z, and then N, and then Y, and then X prime. All of them prime. Sorry, I just got a little bit confused for a minute, but that's what you gotta be careful about, right? You gotta be very careful with how you count the units and also how you don't make mistakes placing the points. Because if you place the points wrong, sure, you're gonna end up with the figure you just didn't think about, right? And once you have done everything, you don't wanna make those mistakes. Because it really is a lot of work just to try to fix a mistake like that. Well, unless you're of course working with pencil. You can always erase when you work with pencils. But right now I'm working with markers. So a mistake here is probably gonna make everything just a nightmare. So here I got the negative vertical translation. How about we try to do a negative horizontal translation? You know what? I'm going to actually work on a horizontal translation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can actually do one of 6 units. So I'm gonna write it down here. Horizontal translation, T of course, of negative 6 units, right? Because I want to go to the left. And so what that means is that I'm going to move everything to the left. And again, I gotta be working with now 2 prime because it's the second translation. So R, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So R2 prime is right here. Then I got S2 prime right here, right? I know Q2 prime is right here, and I know P2 prime is right here. And of course, X2 prime is gonna be here, Y2 prime is gonna be here, and 2 prime is gonna be here, Z2 prime is gonna be here, W2 prime, V2 prime, T2 prime, and then U2 prime, right? And then again, just work it out with your ruler. And with your ruler, everything is gonna look better. Please, if you don't use ruler, things are not gonna look as well as they should. So don't try to save time not using a ruler, because everything is not gonna look that great. All right? Keep that in mind. There we go. There we go. So right now we have a complete horizontal translation of -6 units. Now think about this. I cannot look at this one and maybe I have the initial figure to be this one and the final figure to be this one. What that only means is that I actually used both vertical and horizontal translations to get to move this figure this way, all right? There is no way I can do it in a different direction, but to work always vertically and horizontally then, all right? Same thing here. This is the original figure, this is the final. How about they don't show you this one in the middle? What you have to conclude is that there gotta be a vertical translation first and then a horizontal translation, okay? All right then, now let's go and work with the reflections. So the reflections are actually way easier than you imagine. Reflections are all about lines of reference or lines of reflection. So here I'm going to work with the W letter, which I just thought it was gonna be fun to work with. Okay, and then after I work with this one over here, I will draw a line of reflection. Okay, so think about that W right there. So I'm gonna draw a line of reflection that is going to be vertical. Okay, so if I do a line of reflection that wants to be vertical, then I am going to do this. Okay, and with this line over here, I'm going to be working. So what that tells me is that, again, each point gotta be moved at the same distance from the line of reflection on the other side. So again, I'm gonna name my points A, B, C and D, E, F, G, H, I, L, and M. Those are the important points that I want to work with. So first thing I'm going to look for is the points that are actually closer to the line, all right? So I'm going to look for M and I. If you look at it, M is actually 1, 2, 3, and 4 units. And then those 4 units, I'm just going to count them to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here, I'm going to have M prime, right? And then I is actually 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, I almost made a mistake. Then H, of course, is going to be 1 farther away. And then, of course, well, this is going to be I prime, H prime, L prime. It's right here, of course. And then G. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll count the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So G is right here. G prime. Right? And then F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's count 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right here, I'm going to have F prime. Okay? Then how about B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is B prime and A prime, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, see, I totally forget about one point over here. So this could be actually point N when I count with that point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's right here, N prime, and then I have E prime right next to that. And then I know D prime is gonna be 2 units farther away from H prime, right? And then C prime gotta be 1 unit farther. So with that information, I'm just gonna be able to go ahead and work and just join the points. If I join the points, I gotta end up with the very same figure, of course. You're just having it on a different position here, which is on the left, on the right side of the line of reflection. So what that actually tells me is that we're gonna be able to have a flip over that green line. Make sense? Hopefully, right? All right, so let's keep on finishing the shape. The shape is right here. Now, you guys can actually do this on your own and then just pause the video and see if you're doing it right. That is actually my advice. Try to, pause the video, do it yourselves first, and then I'm gonna make this line over here a little bit shorter so I don't mess up the letters of the points. But so you can just go ahead and do it yourselves and then check whether you got it fine with my W finished. Okay, now I can actually go ahead and work on a horizontal reflection, right? And I can definitely work with the second reflection I have. I'm sorry about this. I just saw that I made 2 quotes for M, but it's not true. We're only gonna work with 1. And so I'm gonna work now with a line of reflection that is going to be horizontal, okay? And so being horizontal is gonna work this way. I'm gonna make it this way. And that is going to allow me to make a reflection. So let's think about it. Now we're gonna go with all the points to move to this side. So C gotta be 3 units, 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Right here is gonna be C, right? And I know D is gonna be right there. Now this is 2 prime because it's the second translation I make. The second, reflection I make. And then H 2 prime, and then I 2 prime, correct? Now, N, if you look at it, is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I know N 2 prime is gonna be right here, okay? And then I'm going to look for A and B. So A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's count the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's right here. A 2 prime. And then of course B 2 prime gotta be here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's gonna be for M. And then L. It's gonna be 2 prime as well, right? But also I actually need E and G. So I know E is gonna be right here, and G is gonna be right here, right? And then I know I need F. F gotta be further away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's right here. F is gonna be right here. So with that being done, it's just a matter of working on the lines. So we know it's gonna be this one over here, right? And then I'm gonna do this one over here, right? And then I'm gonna do this one over here and these two over here as well. Hopefully you're able to see, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and work with N to get this part done. And then I'm gonna go ahead and work with F to get this part done. And then I'm gonna do this and this. And that's it. We have our second reflection, isn't it? Okay, great. So how about a rotation? Okay guys, well, sorry, I had some technical difficulties for rotation, so that's why the figure is already done. Alright, but I have already drawn the figure. The points are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, L, M, N. And I chose A as the fixed point. So about this point, I am going to rotate the entire figure 90 degrees. I don't have a protractor, so probably 90 degrees is the easiest I can do right now. So I'm gonna use rulers in order to be able to actually get the points, all right? So of course A is fixed, so that means A is never gonna move. So I'm gonna begin with B. B is right here, and I can just go ahead and work on this 90-degree angle over here, so that's why B prime is right here, right? Now if you think about C, what I can actually work with is that I have to make a 90-degree angle, and so I can have C prime as well. So this is only prime, not 2 prime, only prime. And I'm gonna go with D now, which actually is even easier since I know it's 1 unit away from C, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do D prime over here. That makes my life a little bit easier. Let's go with E. E is, again, a very horizontal line, so I just count the units, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm just gonna go and do 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So E prime is gonna be right here. And of course, if you think about E being here, F should be 1 unit inside, right? Just because that's the way they're drawn here. But I can also count the units. That should be 4 units from A, so I'm gonna count 4 units downwards to get the same figure. So I'm gonna start drawing, not as I did with the translations and reflections, just because the rotation is a little bit more complex to do, and I just need to make sure my figure is actually being done. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and draw the figure as I am actually getting the points, and that's probably not gonna let me get lost, right? So let's think about G. So G, if you think about G, is right here, right? So what I need to think about is I need a 90-degree angle. So that means I'm gonna keep on going this line down here, but I need to go 1, 2, 3, and 4 units. I'm gonna go 4 units down, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So G prime gotta be right here. And I know H is actually 1 unit next to G. So in this case, it's gonna be 1 unit right down here, because I just need to move a little bit farther this way. So that's what I would totally do. I'll move farther down in this case. And so that allows me to get this line over here, right? And this line over here, okay? So now let's go with I. I is right here. I is right here. So I have I, and again, I need to get a 90-degree angle. So in this case, I'm gonna need a second ruler so I can actually look for the 90-degree angle, which is this one over here. Okay? And so if you use your protectors, everything is just gonna be easier. But right now I don't have my protector here, so that's why I gotta use rulers to work with them. And then I know L gotta be 1 unit down, upper than I, right? And so I'm gonna do the lines over here, and over here, right? And then I need to go and get M, which is pretty easy, just because I need to count the units from A. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually F is now gonna be M prime. That can happen in a rotation a lot of times. Since we have a fixed point, a lot of points and parts of one figure and the other can actually overlap each other. So that's fine, don't worry about it. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just the way we're working with the rotation. And then, as we know, M gotta go a little bit, 1 unit inward. So this point over here is gonna be N, and I'm gonna make the line over here. And if you look at it, I already got to B. So it's just a matter of drawing the last line, which is right here, okay? There we go. That's how it works, okay? So now I'm gonna do a 180-degree rotation so you guys can check how that works. And that's gonna be with P. I'm gonna work with P now. And I'm going to, let's see, I should probably use this green. Okay, and so I'm going to do the figure first, which is gonna be a P, a letter P. And that letter P, I'm gonna give the points to in a minute. So it's right here, and here, and here. Okay, and then I'm gonna give the names of the points, which I'll probably use points A, B, C, D, E, F, then G, H, I, and L again, right? In this case, my fixed point, I'm gonna choose A again as the fixed point. So this is gonna be my fixed point. All right? And right now, I'm going to work on a 180 rotation. So what that means is that F now has to do an entire 180 rotation. Now we know that's a straight angle, so it's even easier because it's all a matter of just going to the very opposite side. So I'm just gonna count the units: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's what I'm gonna move downward: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So right here I'm gonna have F prime. Okay, I'm not gonna use 2 prime because I'm using a totally different figure. So I need to start over again with just 1 prime. Okay, then I'm going to go and work with E. If you look at E, E has to be, well, let's just do it in order. So I'm gonna go and do B. B gotta go 180 degrees. So 180 degrees would be right here. So B is gonna be over here, B prime. And so I know I'm gonna have B prime over here. Now let's think about C. C, if you think about C, it's this line over here, right? This line over here. So I need to keep on going that line and it's gonna be right here. So I know C prime is gonna be right over here. So C, and then D, again, I'm gonna move from A, so from A to D, I have this line, and I need to make a 180-degree move, so I'm just gonna keep the straight line, right? The amount of units, 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3. So right here is gonna be D prime. So can you see how even though it is a 100-degree rotation, it is actually ending up in a different place? That's what we have to keep in mind. So how about E? E, it's right here. I need to give that point. And so E prime is gonna be right here. So that's how I'm getting the outer shape of the P. Now let's go with the inner shape, which is even easier because I know where points are. So it's way, way easier to actually work with that. So let's see. G prime should be here, H prime should be here, L prime should be here, and I prime should be here. And that's it, guys, okay? That's how rotations work. You can practice, just practice a lot. Get your checker paper, and you can actually do the same figures many times, pausing the videos many times as you want until you get all the transformations well done. Probably rotation is the one that is a little bit tricky sometimes, but if you practice enough, you're gonna be able to do. And then you can just go ahead and work on your own figures, it's fine. All right, well, okay, I'll see you until next video, all right?